Well, of course, there are a lot of closures, warnings, and advisories, as you just heard. Joining us now is Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz. County Executive, thank you for your time and talking about the county's response now to this storm. Are there any current emergencies that the county is responding to right now?
Hi, Jeff. The most important thing we're dealing with right now are downed trees and power lines. The snow, as was just reported, is not expected to be great, though it will create whiteout conditions, but we are seeing down power lines across the entire county. There's more than 10,000 NYSEG customers that are without power at this time and about 500 National Grid customers. So for us, the biggest thing that we're dealing with are down power lines. We want to remind anyone, if you come upon a down power line, never touch it, assume it's live. If you know that we have phone numbers that are available, and I hope Channel 4 will report them for National Grid and NYSEG, so that if you see one, that you should report it. But that's the biggest problem right now, are down trees and down power lines. As the snow builds up, we do anticipate whiteout conditions, and that's why the county closed early, effective as of 11:30. All county office buildings are closed right now. And this isn't as bad a storm as is predicted as it could have been. Certainly not bad like the blizzard or some of the snowstorms in which we received 7 feet, but these winds are causing problems, and that's what we're asking everyone to do, is just be safe. And if you do come across the down power line, never touch it.
What is the county doing, of course, on the snow in terms of treating roads and then also ice and dealing with the ice out there?
Our Department of Public Works has a full complement of plows and trucks out on the road. They have been salting. Once the snow builds up, they will plow it. But they've been busy, including through the overnight hours. We work during the winter on 2 12-hour shifts, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So we always have trucks out on the road. We just remind everybody that when conditions get bad, when roads get icy, you need to drive a lot slower. You can't drive like you normally would during the summer. You have to drive a lot slower. If you have traction control on your vehicle, activate the traction control. But our plows are out on the roads. We are not hearing of any bad conditions with regards to snow or ice. The biggest problem there are some roads across our region which are closed due to down power lines and trees down on the road. So once again, if you come across any of those, don't ever try to touch one. Don't ever try to drive over one. The most important thing you can do is drive away from it, not towards it.
And what is the county doing on concerns of flooding, especially along the lakeshore?
We're very concerned about flooding. The areas along the lakeshore, including the Niagara River and Grand Island, are very susceptible to flooding when we have these stage events. We're monitoring it. Right now, there's been no evacuations that I'm aware of, though Lake Erie on our end of it, the eastern end, is much higher than it normally would be due to the winds. We are seeing a sage event. So we're reminding everyone, be safe. Don't go to the water's edge thinking it's safe, because it can you can have a few feet of water materialize in nothing, especially in those areas where we normally see waves crash. But our Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Services is monitoring the situation in the usual areas that we see lakeshore flooding, which would be Hamburg, parts of Buffalo and Grand Island. And as of now, at least, we don't have any reports of bad flooding.
And we know that there is a travel advisory that's in effect for Erie County, right? I'm not sure if that's changed in the last few moments or so, but could you talk to us about what that means, that travel advisory, and then also could there be a potential travel ban?
Well, there is a travel advisory. It is not a travel ban. Travel ban means no travel whatsoever. Travel advisory means we recommend no travel, no unnecessary travel. We understand sometimes there are people who have to get to locations. But in the situation here, we are not in a ban. A ban happens when it's life-threatening. And right now, the conditions are not life-threatening. Actually, I can look out my window and see across the Niagara River to Canada right now. And that's definitely not the conditions we normally see in a bad whiteout. When it's a bad whiteout, I'm in the Rath building. I can look out the window and I can't even see Old County Hall across the street. I can easily see that. I can easily see City Hall. I can easily see the Canadian shoreline. So while it's not great outside, we're not in those types of conditions where we're seeing 2 inches of snow per hour or more, or in the worst situations, 3 to 5 inches. As was reported just recently, you're expecting somewhere between 2 to 5 or 6 inches throughout the whole day. So even though we have the strong winds and we'll see regionalized whiteouts, we're not expecting the blizzard-like conditions, and that's why, to my knowledge, the Weather Service has not issued a blizzard warning, because while conditions aren't great, they're not the worst they possibly could be. So for most people, if you don't need to go anywhere, stay home. It's the safest place to be. If you do need to travel, please be prepared for what could be some treacherous weather, but it is not life-threatening, at least at this point.
So you think that a travel ban is unlikely at this point?
Well, based on what's been provided to us from the Weather Service and our partners at the Center for Weather Excellence at the University of Albany, we don't believe a ban will be necessary. I've talked to the governor. I talked to Governor Hochul earlier today. I talked to the State Operations Director, Jackie Bray. Everyone seems to be on the same page. But we know Mother Nature. She can throw us curveballs. She can change what the expectations and the predictions were. So just remind everybody, just stay tuned, keep aware of your surroundings. And if the conditions deteriorated so much that a travel ban was necessary, we would certainly issue one. But as of right now, the conditions do not merit it.
All right, County Executive Mark Poloncarz, thank you for your time and talking about the county's response to this storm.
Thank you, Jeff. Be safe, everyone, and have a great new year.
Okay, you do the same. And just a reminder, you can get